You should be live in the next moment or two.
Are we going with all those items sold? We're kind of picking up where we left off, right?
So we're gonna pick up we're gonna pick up with a scene after I know that it went live.
Yeah,
But,
we're live.
Okay.
all right. So to start, um, I wanna we're gonna for the audience here, not necessarily the player characters. The camera starts high over the continent, and you can see the mountain range where you guys are battling, and then it zooms in through the clouds, down and down and down, and we come to the outskirts of a medium-sized town, and you see. Oh,
Sorry, just making sure
You're
the sound
good.
was working.
yeah, no, you're good. You see, it's at night, and you're on top of this hill overlooking the town, and there's just hundreds of hobgoblins standing there, and they have swords, and some of them have shields, and they're like banging their shields, and they're looking around, and they're getting ready. And down in the town, you see like the city guard up on the wall, and there's like a bunch of archers. And then you go back up. You go back up to the hobgoblins, and there are these three hobgoblins standing like a little bit in front of the army, and they're conversing. They look like captains, and they turn and why is sound coming out of my speakers? Hold on, that's not good.
Bloop.
Na. I know how to fix this. There we go. Okay. So yeah, they're conversing, and then one of them raises their hands, like up back to his army, and he drops it, and all these catapults shoot, and stones go like flying into the town. And the hobgoblins start charging down, and the last thing you see before like we zoom out of this battle scene is this group of like maybe 24 hobgoblins that have ogres on chains, and the ogres are like pulling against the chains and like snorting and like scratching the ground, and like taking like 3 hobgoblins per chain, and they like let them go, and these ogres just go like half running, half tumbling down the hill. And one of them smashes into the wall and just like breaks right through it, and hobgoblins go pouring into this town.
Which town was this, or we didn't recognize it?
You don't know. Yeah, this is more a scene to just show you the scope of this hobgoblin invasion. Because like as it zooms out, you just see like the hole in the wall, and you just see hobgoblins like streaming in, and then like it zooms out, and there's just like more and more and more and more hobgoblins trying to get in this hole. Yeah, and then we zoom out and come back to the party, who is hanging out. So we left you guys. Hey, look, a sub. Look at that.
Yeah, it's the re-up, but
Hey, still got a sweet emote. You guys were hanging out in this room, and we're gonna speed. So the rest of the place isn't very exciting. You find one room that looks like where the priest prayed to Wogar, and it's very bare bones. There's a little idol of the goblin etched into the stone, very crudely. There's a sleeping quarter, just like a mat on the ground, and some really basic like food provisions. And the other room you find is just this huge room, and it smells like death as soon as you walk in. And in the center of the room, there's just like a pit that just drops down, and you see like an arm like half dangling out of the pit. And as you like go to look over it, it drops into what looks like infinity. But there's no real other treasure to be had here.
Before my rage wears off, I'm definitely gonna do. You said the statue or whatever is in the room that we were fighting in.
It's in the room directly behind.
Okay. Well, if I had seen that, I would have, while raging, ran in there and smashed it out of frustration.
Yeah, give me a Fuck, give me a D100. If we get real high, something will happen.
It's happening.
95 or above.
You got...
Nope.
Alright, yeah.
Screw you, Goblin God.
Yeah, you smash it, and there's probably like a little wisp of black smoke that comes out of it, and you're like, that's weird. But, other than that,
Laga just spits on it. Says, I knew you were too weak anyway.
Ooh. Alright, cool. Does anyone want to do anything else in this area, or do we want to jump ahead to getting back to the portal and...
I have taken the guy's hat.
Cool.
And it's now my hat.
It smells funny.
We established that these were not actually doors. Are they
no, they were, and they led into sleeping quarters for soldiers, sleeping quarters for that priest, and yeah, no. Since we chose not to explore deeper, I just kind of like.
Okay, yeah.
The temple is what it is.
They're not under construction. There's just not much to them.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
And then the pit for bodies.
Is there anything interesting in the body pit?
Give me a perception with disadvantage.
What if I help him?
You can help him get not disadvantage.
You just stand next to him.
I'm like,
You're doing it
you're
wrong.
doing terrible.
I'm imagining you both just squinting into the hole.
Probably.
Silently.
Yeah, so the pit stretches in the like infernal darkness, but there's a weird warmth. What you get out of it is like lucky or unlucky, call whatever you want, but like exhaust belches up out of it while you're going over it, and you just feel the strange warmth. It kind of smells like sulfur.
Jonathan is reminded of the farm.
It's like sulfur, but there's like a good bit of rot in the smell too. You're like, ugh. That's...
Does it smell worse than the hat I am now wearing?
Different smell. Yours has the faint smell of Hobgoblin BO, but he smells straight death, so you know.
I hate this.
There's a difference.
I hate the pit as a minor action.
Alright. So the first big event we had was trying to get back into town. And we assumed some things, like I gave Amanda some prices.
We looted everything. Everyone's tied up right now, and we have the half a cart of gold.
Yeah, so what's your plan for getting all of that? There was a horse.
Do we have any thought? Like, we have to go back through the same portal we went in, right?
No. We have two options. We have the big city or the place that we came in.
Right. You could march down to the city where you know there's like a port that's always open.
Less conspicuous that way if we want to just sneak in these hobgoblins.
Well, I mean, my thought was maybe we wait until like it's night shift when there's not a lot of people around. One of us goes first with a bribe and is like, look, we're on a job. You know this guy. You know how things are. I'm going to give you, 50 gold each to look the other way. And if everything goes well, we'll come back and give you another 50.
We did get, like, a pile of gems.
Yeah, like...
How much gold do we have in this cart?
Well, the gold is technically not ours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to... You probably have to... Give me some intelligence rolls. Like, it's just like a pile of unrefined gold, right? It's like mined, it's a little dirty, it's like... You probably don't know what it's worth off of looking at it.
Sure. I mean, I can... Like, usually there's, what, 2 guards? Two portal keepers? Or more?
So in the small portal, it was just the mage. Like, you're just going to come into a room, and one of the mages is going to be on duty.
So that's definitely going to require a bribe. Because it's one dude, and we're in a room with a big cart that he's probably going to check.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking for somebody to kind of rubber stamp us along, and I think that we have the means and the funds to bribe him, especially if we're like, this isn't a one-time thing. You're buying, into a future here.
Yeah, the other option.
If we go to this, if we go to the city, we don't have to bribe anybody. Well, maybe not.
Right.
If we're taking this all back on a cart, we're in the wilderness where there's lots of plants.
And a bunch of unruly hobgoblins we're dragging back. Like, I would take a loss of profit if it meant not losing everything.
Well, if they're sufficiently unconscious and buried under things, that's less an issue. Also, I have a background feature that makes it so when I'm going through guard security checkpoints, I am less conspicuous.
Ooh.
Because I just look like a generic farmer guy. Although it only applies to royal checkpoints. So when going fancy places, I'm a liability, but going into towns and stuff.
Who has the best social acumen?
Probably not.
Babel for sure.
Babel. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, what skill are we looking here? Persuasion? I have a 6.
Yeah, so if we load you up with like 100 gold or 150 gold, and you're like, there's a cart that has to come through that doesn't need you to check on it.
Yeah, I can go talk to the guy. I can be this.
That's my thought anyway.
Okay.
Share the wealth.
I don't care either way.
Earning
Sure,
my
you guys want
keep.
to do it.
Take an alternative.
What's that?
Ethan's indifferent, and I was just presenting an alternative option.
Your alternative option was which?
Go in through the main gate, and we pass it off as farm goods.
Yeah.
Can we hide them in the cart? Is there space for that? Are they big, or than the cart?
There are a lot of them. Right?
There's like
six,
7 of them.
6 or 7, yeah.
Fair.
We just pile them up unconscious and then cover it with something.
Oh yeah, that's why I was thinking cover it in foliage so it just looks like a big pile of crops or plants.
You look like a farmer.
There was
I was a farmer.
There was an idea thrown out last time that I'll just remind you of because someone mentioned that you could say you're bringing them back for study or for blank because there was a strange hobgoblin tribe. That was a lie you guys talked about before we ended.
Maybe the guy at the gate also wouldn't mind if some of these hobs were brought back for dealing with.
I'd rather bribe someone than lie, personally.
It's a moral thing.
Yeah,
My
that
suggestion
way it's
is
on them, not me.
It's
I can
their
sleep at night.
fault.
Yeah, it's like, however you guys want.
I mean,
I think we could, if we can't pile them in the cart, I think we can maybe try to bribe them. Walk up, give them a little tip.
Sure.
So you're gonna have to probably make some rolls for how well it's disguised if you're gonna go with the disguise route. The thing about those rolls are you don't get to necessarily roll and go, and now we'll pull back, right?
It's poorly.
Do we have any idea how much a bribe would be? I don't think we do.
Yeah,
that's a really
on
interesting
people's
question.
level of skullduggery and streetwiseness.
yeah, I mean, my goal is give them something cash in hand right now, and they're going to understand that we're going to make more money, and we tell them that it's worth it.
John is the wrong
Right,
person
but-
for this.
Do we worry that they're gonna go to look the other way, but then they see what cargo we have and then not let us through?
Not until you said that. But the real issue what I was talking about is, say we're like, hey, how about I give you this 100 gold and you don't look at the thing that's coming through next? And they're like, 100 gold? That's nothing. Normally I'm bribed with 6,000 gold.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not much, but it's more gold than they had a minute ago.
Yeah, I mean, I will
That's where
say,
it's easy money.
you do know that prices are inflated in this city, right? You're getting paid 1,000 per, and then 5,000 for each liter you brought back, right? So,
Oh God, is that what it was?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we just don't have 1,000 gold to bribe them with.
Right.
Could we maybe bring back one at a time 9 times in the cart?
No. The other thing with if we do the main city gate thing, we could just be upfront about it And then if they say no, I mean, we just don't take them into the city if we can't bribe them.
Yeah, we gonna get arrested if we have them?
This isn't really the type of city that arrests people. The worst they will do is be like, go, take it back, get out.
Okay, so
You could if you if you tried to force your way through, if you really offended somebody, you could lose your citizenship.
How long is
Do
it
we
to
have-
go overland?
It was, I think I said 3 or 4 days.
Do we have enough food to keep the hobgoblins alive for 3 to 4 days?
They can
Can we-
survive without food for a week or longer.
I guess. And I guess we could just... Well, okay, no, that's not a thing John would come up with. Never mind.
how orc-like do hobgoblins look like? Can we dress them up and pass them off?
Yeah,
Nothing like orcs. Nothing at all.
in their chains. They're like, wog.
This prisoners. It's normal.
You could just say it's normal and try to walk through.
I have a high persuasion. This is fine. We give you your 100 gold and you let us walk through. This is how it works.
I still have the card from the orc that hired us, right?
Did he give you a card?
Yeah, he gave me something.
Wait, did we just say we're bringing them there for capital punishment?
Yeah, that's what, like.
Yeah.
Let's stop.
Like-
let's start with the truth, and if they don't like that, we'll bribe them.
Because
I mean,
maybe
they're
the
going to
guard
the arena. That's still capital punishment. It's just capital in the money sense.
maybe the guard is in the know-how of what they do with the hobgoblins they bring back and is fine with it.
Yeah, right. Like we're just gonna randomly roll up, and I'm gonna use the lucky feat. We're gonna get the one town guard that hates all hobgoblins forever.
Or we're gonna get a hobgoblin.
Ooh, that's fucked up. I think they're illegal though.
Yeah. I say we kind of be as inconspicuous about it, but be confident about it, and just talk our way through it.
Through the portal or overland?
Yeah. So we go in small portal or large portal here?
I like large portal.
Large.
I vote large portal.
I worry about the large portal having too many eyes on us. That's
Yeah, and a lot of
We're
other people
just
too.
gonna-
We go with the busy time.
We're just gonna blend in with all the other people.
and all the other hobgoblins.
Or we just go at night when people are generally sleeping and it's just the night guard.
Yeah, is this portal busy at the night time? Is it like New York?
Did any of you come through this portal in the continent of... Because you probably got through the city from one of the main portals. So did any of you join from the continent of Rendell?
I don't remember.
It is.
I didn't do my back. I don't
I'm from
know
the
yet.
Underground.
Alright, so none of you came through Rendell.
John
They're
has-
generally pretty busy. You know nobles go in the evenings to party. You know more trade goods go through during the day.
What about during farm hours, though? Like 4 a.m.?
Nobles like paying for things to happen.
You're not sure what happens at 4 a.m.
I don't know. That seems like a good John time. He's up in the morning because he's, farmhand all his life.
Alright, cool. So we're going to travel to the large city?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, because that's the closer one, right?
It is... No, that is the farther one. That one we're going to actually travel in the game a couple of days.
Ugh.
I wonder if we can leverage anything in that city because we're taking these hobgoblins. Like we just dealt with a hobgoblin threat.
Mhm.
Because the city probably wants more people to deal with hobgoblin stuff, so they might give us something or
Whoa.
help us get through the gate. Right?
Sounds reasonable to me.
We're gonna figure it out. We're talking about Crystal Inn.
Yeah.
Maybe someone's got a back alley portal.
I was thinking more politically, but sure.
Alright, cool. Yeah, so you guys start to travel. So give me, I think I'm just gonna have you, we'll speedrun it a little bit. I'm gonna have you do, two We're gonna do 2 random rolls, see if anything interesting.
Who wants to roll it?
What are we rolling?
3d20s, I assume?
It's gonna be boring.
3d20?
Did everyone freeze? Nope. Yeah, they did freeze. Crap.
I'm fine.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, that was weird. Everyone like started moving super. Like everyone froze for a minute, and then moved super fast on my cameras. Yeah. Someone roll 3d20. We're gonna do 2. One's gonna be daytime. One's gonna be nighttime.
I did 1.
All right. Nothing happens during the day.
Ha!
Someone give me a
All right.
3d20, Amanda.
3d20. Ah.
Cool. So I think we are. You guys are set up for camp. During the evening, and
Babel explodes.
Babel, while you're sleeping, you have quite the vivid dream. You find yourself chained like head to foot, and somehow impossibly, like you are literally like mummified in chains, but somehow you're still walking, right? Because it's a dream; it doesn't have to quite make sense. And you're in this like hellish landscape. There's like a volcano in the background, just like exploding. And like you're marching in what looks like to be an endless legion of different creatures. You notice some like highborn elves and some humans and some dwarves. And they're like floating over the sky, superimposed, is this jet black hobgoblin face with red fangs and red eyes.
Oh, it's Wolgar.
And he's just watching. He's just like watching the procession. And every time you like start to stumble, a hobgoblin runs up and pokes you with these like bright red. It's like a pitchfork, and he just like pokes you with it, and you feel a searing pain, and you keep marching.
Hobgoblin hell.
Yeah, and this dream goes on for what feels like an eternity, but eventually Wolgar's eyes like bore into you, and then you hear a voice whisper in your head, "Give my people back, or this will be your fate." And you don't really get a chance to respond, but you wake up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night. And
Yeah, I immediately. What's going on when I wake up? What's everyone up to?
One of the 4 of you, I imagine, is on watch. Everyone else is sleeping.
I'll be on watch when you wake
Cool.
up.
Yeah, I wake up and I am scared because I've heard the children's story of Wolgar.
Yeah.
And he is in my head, and I'm freaking out about it. And I'm wake up, and I'm going over to Lago, who's the only other person awake right now, and I'm trying to tell him like everything that I just saw.
It's just a dream. I think you just got it in your head. You said that it was a childhood story that your tribe told you, right?
Yeah.
Well,
But
those things
I
stick with
didn't
us.
think it was actually a real thing, and we ran into the temple.
I don't think that's what. It's certainly not what you described. I would have expected those to be much stronger fighters, warriors. If those are the best that he can do, obviously not anything to be afraid of.
What are you thinking, Amanda? Fenrir whines softly at your side.
Aww. I feel suddenly better being comforted by my puppy friend. I would, like, I just woke up. I was coming out of a panic. I feel a little bit better now, but I'm still kind of worried.
Yeah, Laga's being like obviously like fairly dismissive of your fears. He's just like, oh yeah, you had a nightmare. Yeah, those guys aren't anything to worry about. We myrtleized them pretty easy. Little does he know he got lucky, but he doesn't know that. He thinks he was just good.
He's fine. I don't know. I don't like it.
Well,
I'm when more people wake up, I'm gonna hit everyone else a little individually about it. But everyone's sleeping right now.
Just turn the lights off.
Me?
Me?
Yeah.
I didn't.
No, and Amanda's. It suddenly got like way darker.
I opened my Discord, so it goes from the full white screen of Roll20 to Discord.
Okay. Yeah, I dropped a dumb image in Discord.
Yeah, I don't push it with Laga too much more. He's being dismissive about it, so I'm gonna leave him alone. Curl up with my dog. Try to go back to sleep.
Was that the last watch? First watch? Do you not care?
Nothing else of note will happen during the night, so whatever you guys want to.
John's probably typically the last watch. He's like first to bed, first awake, I'd imagine.
I've learned not to trust
Farmer
those
hours.
people.
I mean, he's a farmhand. It's just that's his schedule. It's
Sure.
less that he has ill intent. He's used to having to wake up in the middle of the morning to feed animals.
That's fair.
Playing the character to the T.
If anything, he's up there making breakfast for everybody.
Ooh.
Just
It's
doesn't
like-
sleep.
It's not good breakfast, but it's sufficient.
If it's edible. And
It's that.
yeah. And this is a Diro we're talking here, so
If it's
Or no, I guess
one
I'm a
word to
Durgar.
describe his cooking, it's edible.
yeah.
yeah, you're cooking for two non-picky people, aka a half-orc and a Drugar, and then
Fair.
a halfling might complain. I don't know.
Yeah, the halfling might complain.
I will be muted, but here.
Okay. Yeah, are you like wearing the concerns on your face, or are you mostly
Yeah.
over it?
I didn't sleep very well. I take that stuff very seriously, coming from a Fey upbringing
Hmm.
as my halfling self.
Do you so you enter it in a conversation, or do you need to be prompted? Like if we're sitting there eating.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably talking about it a little bit more. Can't keep it to myself. Want to talk to someone else since Lago is kind of being dismissive about it.
Mm. Yeah, so I got like, a hardtack biscuit hanging out of my mouth. And I'm having a generous helping of ale that I'm also adding something to out of a little flask at my side. And I'm like, what?
What?
Yeah. That's what I said. What?
Yeah, I've never had, like, nightmares like this before, even being told these stories as a child. I have a feeling it has something to do with the temple we were at yesterday.
Could also be that funny hat you're wearing.
You, you enslave people regularly? You dragged unwitting prisoners several days to their fate?
Nope, this is the first time.
Yeah, well, I figured as much. So, there's this little thing called guilt, and it manifests in a lot of different ways.
Oh.
John,
Wait a
John, I found
minute.
the extra gravy on Babel's breakfast.
Ugh. It's the worst part. It's just oil.
It's like flour and oil.
It's oil and gristle.
Yeah. Legally, he can call it gravy, but nothing else. He can't call it food.
There's some sausage drippings in there. Like, the food's
It's
not bad.
flavored.
It's just basic.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, some made-up deity of the hobgoblin people. They're not terribly religious to begin with. They're too practical for that. But, you're raised on fairy tales and from Neverland, and now you got some angry-looking black-toothed hobgoblin yelling at you in your dreams.
Yeah, I feel a little better now. Babel's kind of relieved a little bit more. It is true. This is a little bit outside of the realms of what she normally does. So, guilt isn't out of the question.
What are you guys? So, because this could be important to the scene. What are you guys doing with the hobgoblins? Because they wake up eventually, right? Like they don't.
Yeah.
They just stay unconscious the whole trip.
Are we eating all the gravy gristle in front of them, or are we keeping them fed?
You gotta give them a little water.
I give them each a little cup of gristle.
Yeah. As I say, we're force marching them, and if anybody gets out of line, they get a beating.
Oh. John just
saddest
treats them like you would livestock. He makes sure they're fed, but also following directions.
Like check their teeth, like.
Basically, yes.
That was on board with being as
He bit
humane
me!
as possible.
Well, if he does that, he just pokes them with the pointy end of the pitchfork so they stop.
Yeah,
Dude,
I have to
pitchforks.
imagine Laga and Ashland are not interested in these things misbehaving, and we're only a moment away from.
Yeah, Laga would treat it completely unemotionally. Just like one of them does one thing that's kind of out of line and they don't follow direction at all, they get a hammer in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Babel's offering her dog treats to him.
Look, he thinks he's people.
Racism.
Is there like a
It's
huge
not good.
huge church in wherever the fuck we're from?
Roanupur?
Yeah.
It's not an overly religious city, no.
Is there a church to Moradin there?
What's Morden the god of?
Dwarves.
There's probably like a very small congregation somewhere.
Being very good at everything.
I'm looking up.
Yeah, well, so Babel, I would say, like, before we completely left ourselves, to say, you want to be sure we can go have your fortunes divined when we get back in town. We'll have a little bit of walking around money. And, they don't care enough about you to lie, so...
That makes me feel better. That even if it's being dismissed and washed off a little bit, but we'll at least look into it. Feel a little relieved.
Did you mention Wogar when you were talking to Dave's character? Did you actually say the name Wogar?
I'm alluding that I think it is Wogar. The face looked reminiscent of the face on the shrine, and he was talking about like letting his people, like releasing his people. So
Sure. So no metagaming. Did you actually like say Wogar, or did you just like, yeah, the big hobgoblin man?
well, yeah, I'm talking about the childhood stories,
Right.
and they were about Wogar.
Cool.
Jonathan's even more convinced it's the hat.
So, when you said Wogar, you probably didn't notice it right away, but one of the hobgoblin like captains, one of the two that was in the room, like perked up, and as you like walk away from your counter, he just starts screaming at you in Goblin.
So
I yell at him in Orcish.
I have
With a fork.
Yeah, he takes.
understand languages.
Ooh,
Comprehend
okay.
languages. He starts yelling at me when I said Wogar then. So I would like to use comprehend languages to figure out what he's saying.
Yeah,
Fancy.
cool.
Do I just roll it?
I
You
don't
don't roll anything.
Yeah, you
Oh,
just,
I didn't do that.
have it.
Whoops. My bad. What do I...
Yeah,
I don't think you roll anything.
Yeah, you just cast it.
Oh, yeah, I use it.
How much does he? How long do you give him? Because you're,
So he's yelling at me for... How long is he yelling for? Because I want to say I wouldn't think of it right the instant that it's happening.
So
But
my
I'd
question,
give it like a minute.
because my question is, how long does Ethan let him yell before he goes and hits him? Because they just start screaming at each other.
I'm screaming at him, and it.
He screams till you hit him. So I want to know how long
Yeah.
that is.
I feel-
Probably 20 seconds.
Okay.
Like, Laga wouldn't take a long time to get over, to this or wouldn't like rush over to hit this hobgoblin. He'd just be like walking over, like taking the hammer off of his back, kind of nonchalantly,
Sure.
while yelling at him to like shut up in Orcish. Basically,
Why are you making me do this?
Yeah.
If John saw you going for the hammer, he'd like gesture her hand up and just poke him with the pitchfork gently till he quieted down instead of you cracking his skull.
Yeah, so I think normally you guys have been able to quiet these guys down pretty quick, but like this one actually takes a bit of a serious beat down.
Okay.
Which gives Amanda enough time to hear a bit of what was said. That's what I was trying to like. If you like ran over right away and just like knocked his head, you would have
definitely not.
If John was kind of John was trying to get him to not hit the ogre or hobgoblin, get him to calm down a little bit, I feel I'm using comprehend language to try to like let me figure out what he's trying to say.
Sure.
Why he's yelling at us.
So you catch the words that the dark god has marked you. He'll come for you. He and I think he says it's like a loose translation. I mean, he gets knocked in the middle of it, but something about like vengeance is our motto. Or vengeance is our creed, is what he would say. And then he just says the dark god, and then that's when Ethan just like hammered to the back of the head.
Is he saying me specifically?
You definitely made eye contact with him. Like when you cast a spell, right? Like you have to say some words, and then you look at him, and he's like, his eyes are bearing down into yours.
Told you it's the hat.
We don't know what he said.
That was out of character. That was not a character. Told you.
Yeah, you guys knock him, and I'm shaken. I tell you what he told me. This guy, he is talking about a dark god and that I've been marked by him and that they're seeking vengeance. And I'm terrified.
Laga kind of chuckles, super insensitively, and he just says, he's like, these things wouldn't know what a god was if it bit them. They're probably just worshipping some rock or something.
John goes back to the fire, comes back with a cup, and offers you a cup. You know, little one, what makes everything better? A little gravy. He hands you a cup of gravy. This always makes my rough mornings a little better.
You don't drink gravy, do you?
I then hand a biscuit.
Alright, that's not as bad then.
It's like milk and cookies. Yeah. I'm yelling about my dream. I'm yelling like how did he know what I was talking about? Like I am upset.
Laga just says he's like, you think if they were worshipping a god, we would have been thwarted. Well, he wouldn't use the word thwarted. He'd probably say they probably would have killed us instead.
What I'd like to put forward is there's a lot of gods out there that a lot of people pray to, and gods generally don't get too involved in things. So, you know, it may be a god, but it may also not do anything.
Yeah, what John said.
I mean, I've never seen him before.
I know. My point being is they may be a god, it may be real, but it may not intervene. So,
right.
You know, you had a bad dream. Be cautious, but you know, go on with your daily life. Get some pep in that step.
I give you a solid pat on the back, like, you got a lot of wisdom.
Oops, sorry.
Where you get all that, huh?
You know, a lot of people on a farm. A lot of people talk about religion. Well, you hear things.
I guess.
And if he does show up, maybe we could take some of his power.
I don't.
Laga just looks around.
But you know,
he's that excited kid that is like, come on, everyone agree with me. Say I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Because you're yelling at me that it's not even real.
Yeah, but also we could take the power.
Yeah.
But what if power?
He's a positive thinker, all right? He's an optimist.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right, Mike, have we made it to this damn
Cool.
city yet?
Yeah, so the last thing that happens is you guys as you're coming to the city, there's a huge in-swath. Like, you're traveling down some old beaten roads, basically through the forest. But eventually, the roads kind of coalesce into some bigger dirt roads, and you start running into a large swath of refugees who are all marching towards Crystalline. And pretty quickly, you get the story that they are coming from Valrum, and that the city has been overrun by hobgoblins. And
Raga just scratches his chin when he starts hearing this, because he wouldn't be the one talking to them. He'd just be in the background, and he just, like, whoever's closest to him, he's just like, that's a lot of money.
For its town or the hobgoblins in the town?
Both.
Fair.
And I think, like, most people actually give you a wide berth because you're, like, actively, like, marching hobgoblins. But I think there are, like, some people who come up and, like, spit on them and are like, fucking monsters, getting what you deserve.
That's fine.
And
I cheer the people who spit on him.
Yeah, that's fine. I honestly thought about charging them.
I mean,
yeah, but you get the story.
Leftover biscuits and gravy. We could sell it. So they could just, throw it at them at the way over.
You get the story that, like, the teal... I don't know how much you investigate either. Actually, someone who's interested, give me a roll and I'll tell you what you get. And we'll speed run it a little bit, because we've...
I am interested. Which one am I rolling?
Gotta be some sort of... I fucking don't
Just
know.
a charisma
Persuasion.
Persuasion or investigate would make more sense depending on how... Are you just trying to, like, polite conversation about it, or are you, like, really diving in there?
I'm like just kind of what's asking and passing what's going on. I'm a little like interested, but not like I'm in my own head a little bit from the whole Wogar thing.
Sounds more like a performance or persuasion if that's agreeable to Bonk, since it's more just general talking.
Yeah, sounds fine.
Deep
Persuasion?
questioning.
Yeah, roll it up.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, so you hear a lot. You hear, first of all, everyone is, like, shocked at the number of hobgoblins, right? They're like, I heard there were legions, but thousands, like, and these are villagers, right? Like, you're not getting any reliable numbers.
There's 4 of them. Thousands.
Yeah, they say, like, the city guard were cut through, like, a knife through
butter.
Yeah, through gravy.
Oh, that's real. That's real bad.
You also hear
the gravy.
You hear that it wasn't just hobgoblins. That there were ogres, and there were. Someone says they saw a werewolf. Someone says a demon fell from the sky and was ripping people to shreds.
We gotta go investigate this town.
Which
there were. It was the town of Valrum, which, if we're looking at the hobgoblin map, it was circled when you guys captured them at the gold mine. Yeah, and there's like there's a lot of stories, and it's tough, but you piece it together a little bit, right? Like, they came at night, the city guard tried to hold them off. The town was well guarded, but was ran over. It was a walled city, right? They burst through the walls. You hear they took no prisoners, or very few. Like, they were just slaughtering indiscriminately.
Now, do we have, like, in character, do we have any idea of, like, how strong a town guard would be compared to us? Like a normal town guard?
That's an interesting question.
I'm trying to get, like, an idea of, like, the scale for your world, because you said it's, like, high magic, so...
Right.
Like, I don't know if guards are, like, wizards, or...
Right.
What.
So, you're... Not... No. Right, so, Roanupur is high magic, but the world itself isn't, like... It's not like every town is, like, full of, like, crazy level 20 sorcerers. Roanupur itself is kind of this exception to the world.
Okay.
So, high magic starting point.
So out of character, we would think that it'd be more like like pretty much every other setting would have for town guards, where they're
Yeah.
like between like level 1 and or level like 0 and level like 3 maybe or something. Maybe
Yeah,
like
definitely.
some higher level people.
Yeah, you do hear like the town felt like they were well defended, right? Like they could hide behind their walls, they were safe. They had a lot of foot soldiers, but yeah, you're not thinking like wizards or anything.
Lago seems really excited about the idea of this demon coming from the sky or whatever the hell it was.
You do
Babel
hear-
seems even more upset based off the nightmares she just had before gathering all this information.
Does John catch on to that, or is it hidden? Like, is Babel obviously distressed now, or
Yeah, I'm not hiding it very well.
he walks back over with a cool cup and a biscuit.
He's just always got one for you.
John's a very simple man. He fixes things with food.
You do hear, because you got a 22, that there was a small group from the Golden Lions in town, which is, if I don't know if we ran into them. I know Ethan and Amanda made them.
I think you talked about them in town.
Yeah, they're one of the higher end mercenary guilds in town, in Roanupur. There was a small group there, like, judging defenses and seeing how they could help shore them up for the people, and they were also slaughtered. You hear they fought bravely, cut down scores of goblins, but in the end were overwhelmed by the sheer numbers.
Golden tombstones.
Hey.
Yeah, but with that, Crystalline is like trying. You get to the town. There's a huge refugee camp set up outside of town. A lot of tents, a lot of like healers going around trying to take care of people. But I assume you're not stopping. You're just like marching.
Yeah, we got to hustle.
Yeah, I guess so.
Tell me what you guys want to do here, right? If you want to stop and help people, you totally can.
We got a job to do, and that's bringing these innocent hobgoblins to their death.
We have
Innocent.
them still. We've been traveling, like they're gonna die of starvation if we keep carrying on.
Yeah, so I think the guards question you, right? Because you're marching these hobgoblins in.
Mm-hmm.
One of them's just like, yeah, he like looks you guys up and down, and he's like, "Where are you going with those fuckers?"
They're gonna get what's coming to them. I can promise you that. And I just like leer and hold up one of my axes.
He nods and gets this like sadistic grin on his face.
Ugh.
He steps up to one of the hobgoblins, and he like looks him up and down. He's like, "My brother was in Valroom, you stupid dirty," and he goes to pull his sword.
Jonathan O'Cott, can you go with like a gauntleted fist or something, sir? There's lots of people here who'd like to get the revenge, and we'd like them to last long enough for as many people as possible to
We are
attack their
slavers. This
punishment.
is dark.
Give me a persuasion with advantage.
You just
Yeah, advantage because it wasn't. Don't hit him. It was just make
hit
sure
him-
he could
hit him
crawl away when
softer.
you're done.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. I think he smirks, and then he just like, he nods and then turns back, and just slams the goblin in the stomach. And as it like kneels over, he's like, "You're lucky they're not leaving you with me." Obviously, these things can't understand, but
Sure.
If only he went for a face punch, I would have gave him a tooth as a souvenir.
and yeah, the hobgoblin looks horrified, right? Like it's little. I guess I don't know if you've cut its ears off yet, but
John would not have.
its ears are like bent down submissively, and it's like cowering a little bit at this point because these things have been starved and battered, and now they're just coming
They
through.
were fed gravy.
That's fair. Okay. Yeah, maybe they look to you with like pleading eyes then.
Yeah, they're like, clearly he said, "Don't hit me." And
you're
this rude man didn't listen. The food bringer, he would never hurt us.
Well, no, I'm the neutral one. I poke them gently to remind them to stop, but
Yeah.
I also make sure they don't get hurt too bad.
Yet.
It's a firm and disciplined hand, but also gentle and rewarding when they behave.
Jesus Christ.
Look,
Well-
he treats them like he would any other livestock.
Yeah, no, it's true. We're just,
Off to the slaughter.
Yeah.
Little hobgoblin farm.
We're not.
Yeah.
They're on the farm. They're on the farm upstate.
That's gonna be our next. That's gonna be our guild thing. We're gonna farm hobgoblins.
Oh,
Jesus. All right.
What are you? I'm a hobgoblin rancher.
Cool. So you guys march these dirty, nasty, beaten up hobgoblins, and this is like, think like Game of Thrones when Cersei was being marched to the streets, right? Like people are like booing them and like throwing shit at them, and like they're
I'm
topless.
I mean-
sure.
We did strip them.
So, yes.
It's like oddly sexual. It's all. it's a
Yeah,
mess.
all their. It's a little uncomfortable.
Everyone questions themselves a little bit in a lot of different
I
ways.
shouldn't watch this.
John-
They can't look
John is
away.
unfazed.
Yeah, kids like eyes are being covered,
Right.
but
The
I don't
town
think they would've
seems
taken
fine
their
with us
pants.
parading the hobgoblins.
yeah. If anything, you guys are like kind of hailed as heroes. Right? You get a lot of like pats on the back and like, yeah, show those fuckers what for. We'll get them all.
Laga just eats it up.
Yeah.
He's like raising his arms in triumph.
He's like, I'm
Yeah,
a
right there.
hero.
Yeah. Totally. I'm a genocidal hero.
So you go through the town, and you get to the portal, and there's not a huge line going into the town, but there's like, you see some golden knights or some golden lions coming out of the portal and like riding past you on horses, and people are cheering them as they come through too. They're like, yeah. And no one stops you from going through the portal. Like, in your experience, guards are usually like, oh, well, let me check you, like customs, blah, blah, blah. But you're waved through. On the other side of the portal, though, once you guys go through, and did you want to go with the preparations of, like, trying to disguise them before you walk through, or...
I think we're at a point where all this stuff's going on with the hobgoblins. If somebody... We're banking on being questioned by somebody who's not going to care what we're doing with the hobgoblins. Am I wrong?
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
pretty much. Just basically going, they're getting
They're-
delivered to have punishment inflicted or delivered upon them for their actions.
Sure. Cool.
Delivering them for justice.
Cool. So when you guys get through the portal, things change because you come through and you walk through and you're in this big like open area.
Now, would
And
we have enough material to blindfold the hobgoblins?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
What do you do when one of them looks at you with sad puppy eyes before you put the blindfold over?
And Jonathan's unfazed.
All right.
That's cute. Here's your hood.
He maybe like uses it to mop some of the
Keep
stuff off.
keep
of
your
his
eyes
face.
closed, boy.
Could be all of us soon.
It'll be over soon.
He checks the teeth again.
This is fucked up.
Yeah, no, it's dark. Cool. So you walk them through. But on the other side, there are some like armed guards. And everyone like you get a lot of looks. And there's a small like processing line where you walk through, and a mage of this portal's controlled by the Red Towers. A mage is like, state your business, blah blah. Guy ahead of you goes through. The mage comes up to you. He's got a clipboard. He's a gnome. A little gnome waddles up. Yeah, right. And the hobgoblins look like furious too, because they're not fans. They're straining against their chains a little bit. At this point, they're pretty subdued though. Like you've beaten them in submission enough times. They're covered in filth from the townsfolk.
John will give him a pat on the back when they appear to be cowering.
and we've got how many guards like actively looking, or just like there's
Just
an
the one,
inspection?
right?
So there are there are half a dozen guards like at this inspection point, and these are not town guards, to be clear. These are Roanupur guards, so they're actually automatons. They're like suits of armor with a red glow inside, like in their chest.
But we're only being reached out to by the dude with the clipboard.
Yeah, he comes up. Like all the guards are watching. I guess like you can tell they're
automated
focused
security.
on. Yeah. And he's like, "State your." Wait, what the hell are you doing with those things?
There, we got, what do you say, 7 of them going to the fighting pits? Conquest for Valorum.
What'd you say? I didn't hear the last part.
Conquest for Valorum.
He looks down at his clipboard. He's like, I don't see an approved shipment for, whose orders?
Whose orders? Open contract.
Ooh. Says,
If you need some time to get in contact with the arena, I'm sure we can write right here while you get in touch.
ooh, give me a persuasion roll, because there's a line building up behind him.
Well, like we can off to the side. But
Oh, okay. I thought you were making it like
no, it was
what's
not
that?
demanding. It was like a we're not in a hurry. Like, go talk to who you need to talk to. We've got
Yeah,
time.
he says this is a red tower portal. The arena does not have a for us. Good sir. It says I'm gonna have to see a permit stating these are allowed in town, or unfortunately we're not slavers here in Roanupur.
Oh, no slaves, no slaves. They're, fighting for their honor.
That's a much better. I was going to say livestock, but that's a much better way to put that. Sure.
Yeah, these are livestock. You're gonna eat them? Yes, sir.
We kind of.
I eat one right in front of him. Babble.
Jesus.
Babble.
Well, I got it. Put some gravy on it and just.
I just dump a cup of gravy on its head. All right, he's ready to go, boys.
I turn to you, and I have in my hand where he can't see it. I mean, he probably hears that I'm moving something around, but like, I give her a pouch with 100 gold, and I'm like, we want to get this all situated. I'm gonna make sure that we don't, we're not causing too much distress back there. You make sure our man understands. This is we're doing what's right here for the. What do we consider this? Town, country, countryside?
City?
Yeah.
Like wherever we.
We're on a different dimension right now.
Shit.
That's right.
Like this guy knows that things are not great out there.
Babel
need
takes
a win.
the pouch of money. She puts it together a little bit. She walks up to the dude with the clipboard, slides it onto the clipboard. Oh, he seems a little.
He seems a little happier to talk to someone his height.
Yeah, I walk up smiling, and I'm like, I don't know.
Wearing the hat?
Yeah, I'm wearing the hat. It's like,
Okay.
Is he wearing a hat? Can we bond over hats?
He's not wearing a hat.
Take
All
the
right.
head off. Get it out of there.
My hand
I
also
walk
stinks
up
like
to-
Hobgoblin. Ugh.
You should offer him the hat.
I walk up, I ask him, like, I take the pouch and I just put it on his clipboard and go, have you heard of what's been going on in Crystal and Ballroom? That's what we're here to take care of.
He looks at the pouch. He looks up at you. Give me persuasion.
Roll for crush.
Oof,
It's not the worst.
barely.
Yeah.
He loves me.
He loves
Yeah,
gold.
Yeah, no, he looks at the
Hold
pouch
it.
and he's like, and you see his eyes are unconvinced, and then he like looks up and makes eye contact with you, and these like little hearts appear, right? And there's just like a moment where you're like, oh no.
Oh my
I'm
god.
uncomfortable. I see his face and I cringe.
Yeah, you're like, oh god. Yeah, he's like, oh miss, I didn't see you were there. Well, oh, of course, justice for the land. Yes, that's.
He pulls the Charlie day. He's like, oh, hello.
Is he so infatuated he actually gives me the money back?
Yeah, I think he does. I think he says, you keep this, little lady. Buy yourself something nice.
And I look a little like, not soured, but I'm like, oh, thank you. You're too kind.
He says, you tell them in Fendel in Rendell that the Red Tower, we stand for justice, and we stand with them. And he, like, puffs his chest out like he's, like, a proud hero.
Yeah, and, like, I'm in the back, and I'm just like, get moving, you ornery bastards, and I'm shoving all the... And I'm like, sorry for the inconvenience talking to the people behind us that we built up the line. And
Yeah.
Laga
I'm
just
just
puts
like-
up a...
Thank you, and just ushering away from him as quick as possible.
Yeah, as you exit, he yells after you. He says, name's Quip Red Spark. Come back anytime.
Quick red spark.
Quip.
Quip. Oh, that's even better.
Quip Quo Pro.
Quip red
Put in the
spark.
notes. Quip
Red
Red,
Tower
Spark.
You need to befriend this guy, and we
Red
haven't
Tower
been down in the
Mage.
city.
Amanda's boyfriend.
You need to put
As
those
we-
in quotes.
As Laga walks past at the back of this conga line, death march, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
he just like puts up his fist to the
Conga
gnome and he
line.
goes, "Justice!"
Yeah.
No,
it's
it's
like,
just like-
justice.
Oh, this is good. Awesome.
Yeah, and I
Laga
think
just
he like
laughs.
mock lunges at like one of the hobgoblins. Yeah, he like puffs his chest. What? But he's like a little gnome, and the hobgoblin just like stares at him.
Well, I mean, they're blindfolded, so
Oh right, yeah, they are.
He just stomps and tries to scare one.
Yeah.
Because they don't even know what's going on. Ash, I give you your money back.
Ah.
And I'm
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
how quickly? Like, when we're there or when we're like a block away?
as soon as we're walking away, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, I like look at him and I look at you and I lean in. I'm like, holy hell, that worked. I was like, I was just reaching for an axe. I'm not even gonna lie.
Cool.
I don't think we can go through this portal anymore.
I think
Why
this
not?
is the only portal we're going through now.
Yeah, that went beautifully.
What portal was that specifically, Mike?
That is the town portal to Crystal Inn.
That is red portal number 3.
Yeah, so there are like probably about a dozen like main portals in the world where like they're just always open, and then the idea is like if you want a portal somewhere else on the continent, you'll go to one of the guilds and they'll be like, I can get you within a day for a couple hundred gold, or
Okay.
so they're like always these big portals, and there's a 5 gold per person like entry fee that she just waived.
Man.
See, we
It's like,
came out
it's
with
on me.
even more ahead.
But yeah, so like right, if you get a job and it's in like the northern continent, you could like try to take a large portal and then walk there, or you could talk to the guild and be like, we'll jump in.
Okay.
That's good. So we are now in Roanupur.
Yep.
Oh, man. Oh, so good. And we have what? We decided 7 of them?
Yeah, there's 7 of
Yeah,
Are any of them
'Cause two-
champions or no?
2 of them.
Oh!
No. We killed those ones.
What?
You killed the
Everyone-
one
One
in the room?
outside.
Everyone in the temple were dead. The only ones that lived were 7 other regular guys outside.
What?
7 non-champions. Yep.
Amanda, you just
Yeah.
cost us 8K.
I
did.
know, but like,
Yeah.
I thought the
I'm a
champion
bait.
outside we didn't kill.
What are we even going to spend that gold on?
Literally the house.
Full
It's $1
plate.
billion.
yeah, we have all their equipment and stuff still. Once Mike says we sold it,
I am so
add
mad
that
that
to
we
our
didn't get
bank.
a single champion. I'm gonna go back and watch the tapes.
I could have swore we didn't kill the one that was outside unless that wasn't a champion. But
It wasn't a champion.
Okay.
The big
We-
guy outside.
There was
Yeah.
one
We for sure
champion
killed the guy outside.
We killed the
For
big
sure
guy
killed him.
outside.
Yeah, alright,
Okay.
alright, fine. So
Cool.
we got 7K coming plus
1.4, I think it was.
yeah.
1565.
Yeah. Alright, fine.
Selling items, we have added to what we had before. We have 2,265 gold.
Yeah, we'll get him close to the arena, and then I'm gonna ask you guys to hold back. Not that somebody can't come with me if they want, but I don't want to literally march a bunch of hobgoblins in there. I want to find that dude, and if I don't have his card, I have his name. At the
John
very
will
least.
attempt to find a bucket and some water.
Oh, you're gonna.
Yeah,
clean
so
them
I
up?
think
Yep.
Damn
Fenrir
right.
follows you, Ash.
Who does?
He just hops. Fenrir. He just hops along after you.
All right. I mean, there's hobgoblins back there. He likes the smell.
Yep. Yeah, so I think actually what happens is if you take some time, if you actually take some time to clean them.
I mean, I'm waiting for Ash to go find the manager guy, so yeah.
I mean, they didn't tell us they had to be clean.
No,
Yeah,
he
so I-
takes pride in his work.
this is just John
That's
being
good. That's good.
doing his job.
So I think what happens is actually Dave's character goes off to find the dude, but you guys get approached by them because they've been watching the gate for people to bring hobgoblins through. I don't think I put the name down for the guy.
No, I don't have it written down either.
The bleeding place.
I'll check to see if I put it in.
Rothgar, half orc.
Sounds right.
Yep.
Sounds good.
So Rothgar actually, I think Dave actually misses out because he's for Roth. Actually, give me a D. Give me a 1d2. 2, you're there. 1, you already walked off looking for him. All right, cool. So you were just about to like leave the party when like, because he had runners at the door, right?
Gotcha.
Someone goes
They
and gets
grabbed
him.
him.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So you see him come sauntering up, and he's flanked by 2. How would they be? He's probably flanked. He's flanked by 2 ogres.
I was gonna say ogres are like Tanaruk or something.
Yeah, these things are massive too, and like most ogres are like fat, nasty looking things, but these are built. And they both, one has like a great sword over his back, and the other has 2 axes, and like great sword, right? Like it's bigger than Babel. This thing is huge, and the other has 2 battle axes like strapped to his back. Yeah, Rothgar comes up and he's just got like this huge grin on his face. You notice one of his teeth is gold at this point. And he's like, "Oh, friends! I see you've brought me something."
Well, brought makes it sound like it's a gift, but oh yeah, let's do business.
He laughs. He says, "Well, yes, a gift for me, and I have a gift for you. But first, he goes through and he looks them up and down. First he makes sure they're all alive.
They ain't walking themselves.
He says, yes, quite. And then when he's done, he's like, I noticed you weren't fortunate enough to bring back one of their leaders, eh?
Yeah, we got a lead on them, but you know, first time out.
They were a lot weaker than we were expecting. There's a little bit more force put into it than we should have.
And I just grin.
Oh, also, the little dog there got a little chew happy and ate some of the merchandise.
He's just... And I just pat him on the head.
Yeah, he nods and he signals to one of his men, and you get it in platinum pieces, but you get 7,000 gold.
Dang.
Who's he handed off to?
Not John.
Not Laga.
Babel walks up and happily takes it for the group.
Yeah, I eye it.
I think he leans in, Babel, since you come up, and he says, "Now listen, I don't care what you guys are doing out in the wide world, but I'm always looking for things to fight in the pit. You bring me something dangerous. You bring me something strange. We'll work out a good price."
Does he
Got
say that
that.
only to her, or is he just saying it quietly?
I guess probably everyone hears it.
Yeah.
All right,
'cause-
and if it's directed at me, but everyone can hear it, I kind of just like, you got it.
yeah.
Would you happen to have a better way to get him in through the gate? It's kind of a hassle.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
That seems really easy.
Yeah, but if we start bringing in bigger things, I imagine it's going to be a bigger problem.
Give me a persuasion.
This is
Whoever
John.
wants to.
Okay. I mean, I can, but
John
it's,
suggested.
You're the one who talked.
all right.
I mean, I was agreeing with you. Is it possible to get advantage on this?
Yeah.
I say not that it matters.
Yeah, I think he thinks it over and he says that he will be in touch. He'll get you.
Even just license, permits, a little forewarning. Tell us which guard you got on retainer.
Yeah,
He need nothing special, just a little bit easier.
He nods and he says, "My work doesn't normally come with permits, but there are a couple mages I know. Says frankly, I don't know what you paid to get them through, but you're lucky right now. The whole damn town's whole damn town is in an uproar about Valrum. He tells you that Evelyn Goldwyn's niece was killed in Valrum, and she is the leader of the Golden Lions. So, town's a little bit crazy right now."
I look at Battle and I'm like, it cost a lot more than we were willing to pay, but here we are.
He nods. He says, I might be able to get you some contacts next time. Usually my guy takes 25% off the top, though.
Well,
for that, I'll build my own gate.
He laughs.
You never know. Those contacts may still be mighty useful. If we bring something back big, it'd be better to at least get some payment than no payment if we can't get it in.
He laughs and he says, "Suit yourself. I'll get you the names."
Thank you, sir.
And then so he goes to take him away, and then he stops for a second. He says, "Oh, you'll probably want these to get your payment." And he pulls out a knife, just grabs one of the hobgoblins, and just slices the thing's ear off.
Ugh.
And like he has like the precision of a killer. If this thing screams a horrible scream, it doesn't faze him at all.
Or farmhand.
So it gives us 7 more hobgob left
No, I
ears.
was just say you keep them. Little trophy for whoever wins in the battle.
He looks at you and he smiles. He says, "Suit yourself." Yeah, he marches him away. And he also, at the last second, looks back and says, "Also, you're ever interested in fighting in the pits? Let me know. I'm the best damn manager in town." He slaps one of his ogres on the back. He says, "You could be as strong as this elf one day." And then they parade off.
John
with
whistles again at that thought.
What was his name again?
That was Rothgar. He's in our City of Roanupur notes.
Okay.
Half-orc trainer, fighter manager,
Pit guy.
pit guy.
The original
Cool.
pit boss.
Cool. So we're back in town. You guys sell off your gear. We're not going to play it.
John's gonna sell off his trusty pitchfork and buy a spear
Sure.
because pitchforks are completely awful.
Mm-hmm.
How much you willing to spend on a sphere?
My trident or my pitchfork is worth 5 times the cost of a spear, so I'm just trying to buy a 1 gold spear for my 5 gold trident.
That's fair.
Doesn't even have to break the guild bank.
No, if anything, I should come out on top of this. Even at half price, I should get 1.5 gold out of it.
Sure. Yeah, no, I mean, you can totally do that. I'm just, if you want to look at, like, higher-end weapons, you,
Jonathan's never seen a gold piece before recently, so he's just satisfied he has a spear.
Okay. Cool.
And 4 gold pieces.
How
Yeah,
much gold did we get individually?
So you haven't divvied up what you got.
Yeah, let's get the cart to what's his face too, because then he'll probably just leave town, and then we have a clubhouse to furnish.
Right.
Or we could sell it for a bajillion gold.
Yeah, remember that thing about contacts being helpful?
Does the house get us contacts?
No, but having that weird dude who got us into town in the first place as a contact is a contact. I don't remember his name.
Quit?
Abacus Finch.
Haberdasher Finch.
Abacus Finch.
Our client?
Yeah, the guy who
The
hired
first guy, yeah.
Let's
The reason
right,
we
but
went
if he gives us the house and then we sell it, and then we make more money later, and then buy a better place.
Well, yeah. I mean, we don't have to live at this place forever, but I want to get it first. So let's get him his gold.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, this is also assuming he's not going to be wildly upset that like half the gold is missing.
I mean, he might very well be wildly upset, but we did what we could.
I guess we also just explained that the hobgoblins were melting it down and pouring it on top of.
Oh yeah, I
themselves.
think we said since you finished the fight so fast, I thought we said that you managed to scrape that gold up, didn't we?
We got some of that one, but I think they'd still used a chunk of it beforehand.
At least
Yeah,
some
well-
of that's in that body pit.
Yeah. Okay. We'll say you had 3/4 of it.
Okay, no, that's better than.
It's in the shape of a human in the cart.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We did get that.
Cool. Yeah. So it took you guys like 3 or 4 days to get back, though. I think you get to the house, and Habakus is like, he's got some people inside. He's like making some deals. He's selling some stuff. He sees you, and his eyes light up. And he's like, "Oh, thank the heavens! Did you bring it?"
Well, we got some good news and some bad news. Which do you want first?
Frowns slightly. He says, "The bad news."
Turns out them hobs were using the gold in some weird rituals and some of the gold's missing. The good news is we got most of the gold back for you. Some of it's a little stinky, but it's gold.
I
Has
cannot
Stephen bits
help
in
but
it?
start laughing.
Yeah, I think he goes back and he's like, let me see. He goes, looks in the cart. He looks up and he says, "Well, far be it from me to complain, but I do believe that 3/4 of a job would be 3/4 of payment." He scratches his chin.
Seems right and fair to me, but it's not my decision to speak for the rest of the fine folks here. Though I do have an idea of what you could do with that fancy-looking blob there. Market it as an art piece and sell it for twice the profit.
He laughs slightly.
Yeah, I look back and forth. I'm like, you're gonna have to elaborate on that. 3/4 of what?
He says, I know what I sent you out to bring me back a full cart of gold. I see some of it is missing.
Mm-hmm. We didn't lose
Right.
our gold.
It was in a bottom of a burial pit that might have been a furnace. They were pouring it on bodies and doing weird ritual shit.
He scratches his chin again, and you can tell he's a little annoyed, but trying to stay friendly.
I understand I'd be right annoyed too if I lost a bunch of my money. But hey, bright side, you got a bunch of your money back.
Give me persuasion.
Man, John is really pushing it today. All right.
Yeah, he is.
Chatty.
Nah,
Uh.
Guy's a haggler. He says, "Look, I'm in a bit of a pickle here. I'm not gonna lie. I still need the gold, but a city like Roanupur doesn't operate if people don't live up to their end of the bargain. I'll take this. Throw in 500 gold pieces. I'll give you the house. We'll call it there."
What was he promising before?
I believe it was in exchange for the house. Was just a straight deal. You bring him the gold, you get the property.
Do we have
you
any
get
idea
the
what? Have we seen the property before, and do we have any idea what its value is?
You have seen the property. It's
Okay, well, has John seen the property before?
yeah. You're actually standing outside of it because he's
Okay.
giving you this place and he's
Yeah.
leaving town.
So he's not actually cutting us anything off. He's right.
He just wants a little compensation as opposed to no compensation.
Yeah, he wants 500 extra gold on top of his cart of
Oh,
gold.
I thought he was giving us 500 gold.
No, we're making up the cost for the missing gold.
Yeah.
essentially.
But he's
He,
selling shit out of this place right now.
Yeah.
He is using it as a base of operations, but he is leaving as soon as he.
He's having a clearance sale, essentially.
Yeah. So he shows you the writ for the property, and you see that he paid 7,000 gold up front.
John's thinking to himself, well, we just need 7 more of them hob folk.
Yeah. Easy money.
There's a monthly cost here, though, right?
There is, yes.
Just
Yeah,
to live in the city?
He'll go over all of it with you. Property tax on a building is... So there's a 50 gold fee to keep your citizenship every month as a human, regardless of what you do in the city.
How about as a halfling?
25.
It's the same. It's
No, that math doesn't check out.
It's cost per citizen, not cost per race.
He said human.
per citizen, yes.
I'm 1.2 humans. I'm fat.
No.
Yeah, so 50 gold per person. Dogs get in free.
Yay.
What's the cost
And
of
then-
a tavern for a month? Like staying in a room.
Depends.
That's
All over the
shitty.
place, but the cheapest is like 10 gold. Like, there's no cheap, like, people don't come here and spend coppers.
Okay, so we could. So
It's
it's
really-
50 gold a month to be a citizen. Is there like a property tax? Or
Yeah, so property tax for this building is 200 gold a month.
why don't we just live in a bar?
Exactly. Just sell the place and live in a bar. If
Yeah,
do
Laga's
this,
going to be
we-
like, so our choices are to either keep this cart full of gold or give you a cart full of gold for the house that we got to pay for.
How much do we think this cart full of gold is worth?
Hold on, Larga. We keep the deal and we sell the house and we get the value of the house.
Well, the deal
That
is
way-
different now, though, because he wants us to pay 500 more gold than.
Yes, but if we sell the value of the house, we still make a profit. And to be fair, we did not get the full cart of gold, even if it was outside of our control.
What it was outside of our control.
A house is a means to an end. And there's a lot we can do with a house to ensure.
We can make use of it for the time being, and then sell it off once we have better options.
Yeah, so if you stayed in a bar or you stayed in a really cheap inn, you'd still end up paying 30 days a month. You pay about 300 gold in the whole month to like rent a room.
I'll
Maybe
just
don't
find
just buy a
someplace in the
shitty shack.
forest.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or we could just buy a nice tent or something and live out in the woods.
Just be near a portal and then come back through.
We
Yeah.
can live on the street.
I mean,
I'm fine with that too.
You do have all these options available to you.
Mr. Nice Guy has a Mr. Nice cart.
That's true. Yeah, I give Haberdasher here a long look. Like, something seems to have changed between our first conversations and now this recent one. I see you're looking to leave and make good on your profit beforehand, but we did a lot of impressive things for you in a very short amount of time.
He nods. He says, something has changed you. And while I admit, through no fault of your own, you did not fully live up to this bargain. And then I think he looks a little exasperated. And he goes, and he like drops the business and act. He's like, look, I'm handing you 6,500 gold in this house. I don't have time to flip it. You've already made me wait 3 days. You take the deal, or you leave.
Yeah,
Well-
I get 500 gold out, so what, 50 platinum coins?
Yeah.
I make a show of counting
Ja-
them and dropping them into a pouch,
Well,
and I
well,
put it
Ashes
in his
to
hand.
can you throw in the name of a suggested realtor so we can flip the house, since we have time?
Can we keep the horse?
The horse wasn't part of. We brought the horse. The horse is ours.
No, the horse was on the cart.
We kept the horse alive.
It says need the horse.
A horse
for the
is
cart.
like 100 at most.
Well,
Um,
300 at most, but yeah.
Well, sure.
How many platinum is 7,000 GP?
700.
Okay.
Right, platinum's 10.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so 700 platinum.
Yeah, I think it says your best bet is to talk to the Office of Bureaucracy. The bureaucratic office, sorry.
Oh boy, bureaucrats, my favorite.
Laga has like zero interest in any of this talk. It's totally like above his head.
Cool. So I think deal's done. He but he like gets on the cart and is like he like throws you the keys.
Yeah, as he's kind of leaving, I'm like, there won't be any more conversation about how we didn't finish our end of the deal. We rectified it. Job was completed.
He nods. He says, "You're an honorable group. It's a rarity in the
gives
city."
him a handshake, or at least offers a handshake.
Yeah, I think once you've like agreed to the deal, he's all friendly again. And yeah, he giddies up out of town. And you are left
stuff in the house.
Yeah, what did we get?
Yeah, so we'll figure out inventory. Probably between sessions.
That's fine.
But
I was wondering just if there's anything interesting in the house, or is it empty?
It's very bare bones.
Okay.
There's a sleeping quarter. There's like the front room has like a couple cases. You could turn it into a store pretty easily if you wanted.
Ooh.
There's like some sleeping quarters. There's a kitchen.
Did we Airbnb this place?
I mean, if you want to run a rental, like you could try.
But we also have no one to watch the place.
Yeah, we totally got shafted in this deal because we didn't actually gain anything. We're actually losing money by taking this house.
The house is a means to do things with. And
In what regard?
We can use it as a storefront. We can use it, as a tavern. Amanda wants to sell pets in it. I want to
All
set
of
up
those
a
things
pottery shop.
require us hiring staff or staying in town.
Yeah.
We have a place to call home.
Yeah, listen, man. You got to put down roots and you got to invest in your community. So this is how it works.
John doesn't consider this his community.
Well, I mean, you don't have to stay here.
It's fair.
I'll buy you out. Give it another mission or two.
So there's my idea was hopefully once we get in a rhythm, we can have a like at the beginning of the session, like or in between sessions in Discord, we can be like, "What'd you do with your downtime? What'd you like?"
Gotcha.
You made some money. You worked somewhere. You did like right. There's a couple. Like this first storyline has kind of been like bam, bam, bam. But if we get into a routine, it'll be like, oh, once you finish a job or once you finish a storyline, there's like an intermission.
Okay.
We
so
have a place to leave characters when not all of us can make it.
That too, right?
Got it.
Or if you do decide to go the guild route, you can hire some people and have other people join the guild for free, and you can like, yeah, the world is your oyster.
Okay, so you're telling me we have the start of our hobgoblin storefront.
You could have kept one of the hobgoblins. He could have worked it.
That
would go well.
The hobgoblin would fill the cases. You don't understand.
Okay. So we do have 7 hobgoblin. I posted Mr. Nice Guy's inventory of how much gold and platinum, ears, and gems we have. Are you guys wanting to split the cuts, or you guys want to keep them pooled?
I just want to go get some armor.
Same.
Yeah. So, let's get all the actual money figured out. Like what 270 GP in gems.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's sell our 7 hobgoblins' ears. Let's figure it out. And then are we splitting everything evenly?
I would think so. Because this is all from collective inventory.
Okay. Yeah, let's figure out what that means.
Laga has no idea.
Yeah, I mean
he can't count.
Yeah,
Don't worry, Laga. We'll give you your even.
John's not so good with math either. He can count coppers and silvers, but he's not sure what to do with gold and platinum.
Yours
2 out of the
10
4
apiece,
characters
right?
are like, you can screw me over if you want.
I mean, you could, but
we
they're also
won't,
the
'cause
2
we're nice.
muscleheads who would be like, well, we could also kill you in your sleep real easy.
Right.
Ears were 70 apiece, or 10 apiece, right?
They were 10 apiece, yeah.
Plus.
Although when you get there, because the Golden Lions were offering, the bounty is doubled from the time you left because of the
inflation.
Oh, so we got an extra 10 apiece?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So we have...
And there's going to be a scene there, but you can divvy up the money first, and then we'll...
we have 2675 gold and 650 platinum. So...
Yeah, so 8765...
Sounds like hobgoblin ranching would actually be pretty profitable.
Yes, it would.
That happened. There was like a bounty on rat tails in like England or something, and then people raised rats, cut off the tails, and released them, and it created more rats.
Yeah, they that's happened a lot of times in history. I think that happened in Florida with snakes too.
I believe it.
So, platinum-wise, it's 162.5 when we divide it 4 ways. Who's getting that rounding?
Hold on, I'm totaling everything.
I was gonna say just convert it to GP.
Where did the 2675 gold come from when there's 2265 there as well?
It added in the worth in gems and the hobgoblin so it was another 140 and 270.
When you say 2265, 650 platinum, 140 in goblin ears, 270 in gems, is there also a 2675 in
Nope.
gold, or no, you did that math?
It equals the 2675. Did I
Gotcha.
do the math wrong?
I don't think so. You have a weird running total there, and I couldn't tell. So 2675 plus
650 in platinum.
6,500, and that's
Yes.
everything. That's everything sold.
Yep.
Okay.
We got enough to buy plate mail. Woo!
Sure do. A couple times over.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
So how much each?
2,000 here.
What the fuck? My
2,
calculator's being a piece of shit.
Divide by 4.
There you go.
Yeah.
We have 9,175 by my math.
Oh, I don't. Yeah.
So yeah, 229375. So what's
Yeah.
that end up equaling? 3 left over? 3 gold left over?
Yeah.
So just
Could
kick
we
that-
And
maybe
keep it.
Kick that
toss
back.
him Fenrir's way?
He gets a 3 gold tip. He's a dog.
We
He
gotta
gets
feed
Get him a nice
him.
collar.
We gotta feed him.
Look, I say whenever there's leftover rounding, bookkeeper gets it.
That's fine. Amanda gets an extra 3. Everyone else gets 2293. We had to buy the house at an extra 500. Are we sharing that cost, or do you want me to just front it?
Oh
We
yeah,
already
this is
shared it by
counted.
splitting it after.
Yeah,
Sure.
because I took the 50. I took the 50 out of the 7.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Are you guys comfortable splitting? I know Laga wasn't
Laga
super
doesn't-
on board.
He doesn't know that you took it out in the first place, or how much it costs, or anything. He has no idea.
Well, Laga's owns 1/4 of the house now.
Mike, do you want us to pay attention to gold versus platinum, or do you not give a shit?
Nah, I don't care.
Okay.
I said it just because it made logical sense that it would be platinum, but I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It is easier. I just, you
No,
know,
we'll just be tracking
with the way
BP.
we're doing minutia, I didn't know if you wanted a money changer to be relevant in this game.
No.
It'll matter when I start beating people to death with my gold bag.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's-
right. I mean, it says that way. I have an extra 48 pounds of gold now, but you know.
Yeah, I don't care.
2340.
All right. Do
Yeah.
you want a shopping game tonight, or are we buying things on the side?
What do you guys want to do?
I mean, if you're cool with just like us spending gold and then getting the things,
Yep. I'm
Do
cool with
that.
that.
You want like a mini
Is there
list
restriction
if we're
on
looking
things
for
we can
something
find?
weird or esoteric?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so like
How much did we sell the green chainmail for, though? Because you didn't answer me that.
Um,
Because that's technically in the inventory still.
yeah, the guy doesn't really want it. He'll give you. What did I offer you for the normal ones?
You offered us 45.
He'll give you 10 gold for it.
we'll just hang it on the wall.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
it's hanging on the wall.
Okay, cool.
We'll have a house of oddities.
Do yeah, I mean we didn't
Trophy.
we didn't get a lot of interesting things done necessarily, but you know we're
you know,
Got some world building.
yeah we're
Yeah.
you know who we could sell? We could sell
got
the
a
green
pick guy.
chainmail to the Golden Lions, probably.
It's a possibility. Yeah. So I have a scene. You're done distributing money.
Okay, yeah,
that's-
we
I was
distributed
gonna say
it.
too. Amanda and I going to the church.
Oh yeah. What do you want to do first?
We can do your scene first.
Okay, cool. So, when you get to the Golden Lions, there's a line out the door of all these different people, and there's you see 40 or so men suiting up out in the courtyard. And the Golden Lions have this huge, expansive compound in this city, right? It's several city blocks. There's a big towering building in the back. There's some training yards. There's a really big stable. They have their own smithy. Right, they're a big fucking deal in this town. And yeah, there's a line, but it's mostly people looking to sign up because they have sent out a massive like recruitment because their word has it from the mumblings in the crowd that Evelyn does not take kindly to her family being injured, and she is striking back at the hobgoblins hard. And really, what the little you know about Evelyn, she's a high elf. Comes from a very old family. Her family was disgraced in elven lands generations, like hundreds, thousands of years ago, and they settled here, created the Golden Lions. It's a very proud and noble family. I do not have that answer off the top of my head.
I mean, I can give you a price off the book, but
The reason I'm asking is because there is no price.
Well,
Yeah.
it's considered a rare item, I believe, which then has a suggested price. Because a mithril is
Right, that's
uncommon.
Yeah, so I actually, I am cool with going off of Pathfinder prices for a lot of things. Because they have a pretty, like, exhaustive item. Like, if you...
The economy is very different, though.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's fine.
But I'm
with
also
it.
just... I'm hurling money at you guys so far, I believe.
An uncommon magic item, which is what adamantium is, suggests by the book that characters first level or higher could find it, or have it, or buy it, or whatever. And it goes
Sure.
from 101 gold to 500 gold, which I think is absolutely ridiculous, but that's what the book says.
Yeah, so my plan was to, like, dump gold on you in a more Pathfinder-y way, as opposed to necessarily...
I don't remember how much adamantium costs in Pathfinder, but
think it's like
For
a buck ton.
heavy armor, it's 15,000.
Woo!
Yeah, so three
It's
times.
literally more. It's literally more than some artifacts in 5e.
What does
Right.
that give you?
It makes sense.
You're immune to
for-
crits. That's it. I mean,
Pretty
that's
good.
That's pretty good, but yeah.
Yeah, it's way better in Pathfinder, though. That's why it costs more. Right, because, like, a lot of things... Classes crit on, like, 15 in Pathfinder.
well, in Pathfinder it gives you DR, not. Which is arguably better in some ways.
It's more relevant.
Right.
Yeah, let me think about it a bit.
That's fine.
Um,
If we're not doing combat, it's not relevant right now anyway.
yeah, so I don't think you're going to be able to afford it right now,
That's
to be
fine.
clear.
That's the only reason I was asking, because I've seen a lot of people being like, double price, so it'd be like 3K.
Sure.
Okay, that'd be close. But
Yeah, so I think we'll have to have a longer discussion about
Yeah, that's
economy
fine.
in the world. But, okay. When you get to the Golden Lions, all sorts of recruitment going on. When you drop off your ears, they pay you. And there are a bunch of bulletins for... The main thing they're recruiting for is they're planning to take back Valrum, or they're going to attempt, right? And they're looking for grunts. They're looking for people to join the army. But the way it works is, like, if you're interested in the job, you go talk to one of their recruiters, and they'll see where you best fit. But yeah, basically it's like all these posts, like, join the war against the hobgoblins, glory, honor, money. I don't know. Is that something you're interested in pursuing, or do you want to go off on your...
I think it's something we keep in mind. We just got back, right?
You did.
you could just start that hobgoblin farm. Or
We have a
just-
Laga-
goblin dog still.
Laga would just say, I'd rather go out on our own. I don't really trust all these bigger guilds.
Okay.
You can eventually just work officially for the arena and just, become monster gatherers.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Offer's still on the plate for what they gave you. Like, they'll still pay the same.
Yep.
Cool. So, you guys want to head to the church?
Yeah, what are we doing at the church?
Yeah, so I don't know if Laga or Jonathan are coming. They're certainly welcome
yeah.
to if they like.
John's
He'll
not
come
sure
along.
going to the church, so
Yeah.
we're going to talk about my dreams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Dave, I think I'll put this back on you. And like, how big do you be in this world?
How big? What?
Do you want this church to be like in this world and your characters? Like, 'cause
Yeah.
I'm kind of cool, like putting whatever in the city, right? I don't have it planned out. The idea is like you can find just about anything in here.
Yeah.
It's a dive shirt.
So Morden is like the god of all dwarves. He is the dwarf father. You know, like not every race has a like we all worship this guy, but
Right.
they do. You know, Durgar and Diro are both a little different. Durgar are like very similar to the Drow in that way, where they have been like shunned into the Underdark. They are naturally more greedy. They are the worst of dwarf kind in the sense that just their natural predilection for greed and envy.
Sure.
Ashland is not like that. He actually doesn't follow Moradin, but like it's one of the closest things he has to, you know, his culture being in the city, being above ground and everything. I mean,
Sure.
he's not welcome in the Underdark anymore.
Sure.
So this would really be like it's the only way he has to help Babel.
Sure.
So like when he goes, he does the whole thing. Like he's gonna, you know, he combs out his beard, you know, and braids it nice and puts like a couple like stone beads that have been glazed and, you know, like a kind of a celadon translucent green. You know, fixes himself up real nice, kind of anoints his forehead with some sacred earth, and is welcome to do that to anyone else who's interested, because he takes this pretty seriously in a way that you haven't seen reverence from him before.
Yeah.
Does anyone
Amanda,
take him up
you,
on it, or?
Yeah. I mean, you're bringing me here to help me. I'm kind of like enthralled in it. I like the beads.
Yeah. So we can like he's got a bag of them because like he makes them. That's what he does. He's a potter. And that's just like, you know, roll them up, you know, do a little thing. He carves them a little bit, you know, puts little faces on them and stuff sometimes. So you can pick what you want them to look like, or I can tell you if you don't, you know, have an idea.
I will pick 3 from the bag without looking.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I imagine a great many of them are like weird, wide-eyed dwarf faces in various states of worry.
That's good.
Yeah.
Is,
Very comforting.
Yeah,
So-
Laga and Jonathan, are you getting in on this, or are you doing your own thing?
He will. Laga will, because he's just looking for any way to get power. So
Sure. Okay.
he thinks that maybe this is a way. Who knows?
Cool.
Jonathan shopping. I was gonna say I can see Jonathan putting on his Sunday's best, and he's like, "There's only one religion, my friend."
John doesn't have the Sunday best. He only has the set of clothes he has.
Like snaps his suspenders. He's like, I'm going to the market.
What? No, he just has a tunic and some like sack pants.
Right.
Oh,
Fenrir's-
please buy yourself some new pants.
Fenrir's pawn at the bead bag.
Yeah.
Aw.
He wants to get in on this.
Yeah, we'll get him one that has like a clasp for his tail.
Yeah, that's nice.
Mm-hmm. It's like a
Yeah, so I think this church, like any great dwarven place of worship, it's a smithy of some sorts. Like their symbol is the anvil with flames above it, as I'm like reading into it.
Google tells me.
Google tells me such things. So you come to this big sweeping building, and there are all these like exhaust ports in the front, and like you see flames coming up. When you look into the windows, you see flames, and you see dwarves hammering away. But then in the front, there's like this big altar where a dwarf would stand, and the altar is a big anvil, and there's some seating. And you come in, and there's an old dwarven preacher standing like at the altar, and it's loud in here, right? There's like the clang of metal and things are being made, but you can hear his voice. It's almost magically like booming. He's speaking in dwarven, so I think only Ashlyn might understand that.
Yeah.
Amanda can use comprehend or Babel can use comprehend language.
That's true.
She wants
Yeah.
to be included.
Yeah, so I think the first thing you notice, right, 95% dwarves are in here. There are a couple humans, probably a half orc. They're all listening, like heads bowed, and they're taking this pretty seriously. And he is raving on about a time of great strife has come to the lands. Let me read a little bit. Yeah, and it's right. He's saying dwarves are the great creators of the world, but it is now time to take the strength they've made at the forge out into the world. He's talking about inspiring others, about dealing blows to the dark forces that have taken hold of this world. And he goes on and on and on, and eventually he wraps up. And then a line forms where people go up and he blesses them, and I would assume you like get in that line.
Ashlet, they hate him. They are not interested in him being here. He is like
Sure.
he is a reminder of the worst things a dwarf can be. So the whole time he's like wringing his hands nervously, and like he's like the kid who knows he got caught and he's waiting for someone to come down and yell at him. He's like looking over his shoulder, and he's like very demure in comparison to his otherwise boastful personality. But he's also like trying, like a success for him will be like they will meet with Babel for a minute and like not literally throw all of us out onto the streets.
Sure.
So yeah,
Cool.
I mean, if he's the guy to talk to, you know, like we would wait, like we would sit in the benches or whatever and wait to be the very last people.
Sure. Cool. So I think he goes through his ritual, right? No one really knows you because going on in this church, but at the end, he like everyone goes through and he's like, "Step forward, and then he makes eye contact and he's like, he looks down and just glares.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
Says, what is your kind doing here?
we got the tithes, the donation, and my friend has a dream that I hoped someone could help her with.
He thinks for a long time, and you think he's gonna like at any moment summon the. And eventually he sighs and says, "We are the better half. Come forward."
Yeah, I just nod and I like hurry everyone along. Does he take the coins, or do we have like a collection box or a plate or something?
I think there's a young dwarven child who like is like standing kind of nervously, like, "Oh, I have great honor to do this," and like you drop the coins as you.
Yeah, he sticks his nose up at me. He's like, "That's it."
Yeah. Do you give more than the normal amount, or do you?
I give 100 gold. I give 10 platinum.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, people give more in the city, right? But that's still.
I drop 5 whole gold pieces.
Yeah, I think that's more what people give, 5 to 10 gold in the city. So you drop like 10 times that amount in. And the platinum rings, and like the kid's eyes widen, and he like tries to show it to the priest, and the priest is like, "Hush, hush."
Yeah, he's like, don't give him that.
Right, but he definitely like. I think he says something about like even the darkest shadows can be saved when brought to the light. Speak. What is it you need? Tell me of this dream, child.
Aww.
Nice.
I imagine Ashlyn just kind of nudges me along.
Yeah, I don't have anything more to say. Like, I help you get back out of this place, because, like most dwarven things, it would be symmetrical but still very confusing.
Yeah.
Sure.
I thank the dwarf priest.
Yep. Sure. Cleric priest.
Yeah.
He
thank
hasn't
him
said
for,
his
like,
name.
yeah. I thank him for speaking to us. And I start telling him about the dream. I tell him about the chains and the floating, like obsidian-looking face, and how it looked like the same face of a Wogar temple we saw. And I tell him what the face had said to us. Or said to me. And
He
then I woke
nods.
up.
Says, he sighs. He says, these creatures from the such meddlesome deities, come forward, come forward. And he like reaches his hand out.
Yeah, I walk forward. Is he looking for my hand? I put my hand out.
He like puts his, like, you go the, like, you're not sure what to do, and he you forward and like grabs your face basically. And he just like, it's very like rough, and his hands are sooty, and like he's been working in the furnace all day. And he closes his eyes and he concentrates. And you feel this you feel like this power start to wash over you. And like at first you feel like warm, and you didn't realize quite how nervous and how stressed you've been, and it starts to like it starts to wash over you. But then suddenly from like deep within yourself, you just feel this like awful, like your stomach starts to turn and the whole room starts to spin a little bit. And like where he's touching you starts to burn. And very quickly it becomes like unbearable, and you can't help but pull away from him unless you want to try not to.
No, once it starts to burn, I pull away.
Yeah, and I think he does at the same time. And he's like, God, and he seems surprised, and he says, and he sighs and says, Wogar, nasty being. A power like that, well, boy, bring me one of the daggers the acolytes have been working on. And the kid like nods twice and runs off over to one of the many furnaces, and he says, the only way you'll get rid of a curse such as that, you must strike down one of Wogar's faithful followers. And the kid comes back with this like ornate dagger, and he takes it and puts it on the altar, and he like hits it with a hammer 3 times, and there's no flames or anything, but sparks fly and it turns bright red, almost as though it's been in a furnace. And he hits it 3 times, and he says a little prayer in Dwarven. Light protect me, draw the darkness out. And then he hands it to you, and he says, drive this into the heart of a follower of Wogar. Bring it back to me, and we'll use that to remove the curse. If you don't, I fear eventually the darkness will take hold of you, and Wogar will find you.
Does he need to be alive?
When the dagger goes through, yes. And he says, and yes, all of these nasty hobgoblin creatures follow Wogar in some manner. You must find one of his faithful, one who has been blessed by his power.
So, champion. I do also mention the goblin, or the hobgoblin, that what he said when I was talking about Wogar to Ashlyn. I do mention that they did say I was marked by the Dark God, and ask if that if it means anything more.
He says, child, for many centuries, Wogar lived in the shadows. It was not something we concerned ourselves with. My knowledge on him is faint, but I know him to be a vengeful god and protective of his dark creatures. If this curse lingers for too long, it can only bring bad things.
How long is too long?
He shrugs.
I jump in. I'm like, we'll take care of it immediately. Thank you. We'll be sure that the curse is lifted and bring the dagger back to you. And then since he hasn't given us his name, I just I'm sure there's some sort of like community leader, elder, like word in Dwarven. Like thank
Sure.
you. Whoever.
Yeah. There, he is known as a Solinar.
He is
From
known
the
as Solinar.
wiki. As a Sonlinar.
Sonar.
He's got
I'm just
sonar.
stealing.
Got it.
I'm just stealing straight from the wiki.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he looks at you and
Son
Ash-
Lenore. Yeah.
and he nods curtly.
Yeah. And I just like kind of get us out of the room.
He says, I think he says, strange times that bring one of your kind to my step.
Yeah, so I don't know if anyone else has anything they want to do, but like probably the last scene with Ashlyn, like he's like pushing everybody out of the room, like, well, we've overstayed our welcome, and he turns back, right? So like the hallway's lit up like this glowing red from the furnaces and everything, and he's just got like he's a very like mournful look on his face, and he's like, I ain't welcome anywhere. Here won't be any different.
You can tell the words hit him. And he goes to say something, but then he stops himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd probably look for just like a little bit, but like by the time that he's probably doing the I'm gonna start to say something, and I just like turn like
Right.
It won't help, and I just walk out of the room.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Babel is confused and upset
Mm-hmm.
about everything having to go on.
Mm-hmm.
And is looking to Laga like, I told you something was wrong with me.
I don't know why you'd listen to me. I don't know anything about this stuff. I was just trying to make you feel better.
That was amazing. Right out of the, I don't know why you'd listen to me. It was probably foolish on your part.
He doesn't even seem like he feels bad about it. It's just like matter of factly, just like I don't know why you'd listen to me. Yeah.
When we cross the threshold back into like the city proper, even if we're in like a clerical district, like Ashlyn kind of changes his personality and he hits Laga on the back and he's like, how's it feel to be more popular than a dwarf in the Church of Moradin, huh? And it never happened before.
That's true. I never met a dwarf like me.
Yeah, you're too fucking tall. No, they loved you. You're a good guy, and you tithe real well. Well,
I did what?
when you donated money.
Oh, when I put the gold in the thing.
Morden likes that.
That's
He
what that was.
likes gold.
Oh, that
Does
seems like
being-
a really easy way to get favor.
Indeed. You could you could become blessed. You could get a holy symbol and champion forward in the name of light.
Why would I want a god that likes money?
Well, he
I'd
likes
rather one
other
that likes
things
power.
too. Killing goblins and the like.
Oh, I can get behind that.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anything
So-
Laga wanted to do when he was in there?
No, he
Okay.
he was in there like a little kid in church where they just don't really know what's going on. Except
That's fair.
he's just like mimicking what other people were doing. So he didn't really know what he was doing when he was giving the gold. He kind of had like a vague idea of like, this is polite.
He was like
so
about
I'll
a
give some
handful.
coins.
Got it.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, he put in 100 and she put in 10.
Well, I only
but in
put
something in between.
I only put 10 coins in. They just happen to be platinum. So if you only
Right.
counted the chain, or you only knew about the
Well, I
Does
kind of just
he-
figured that you just put a handful in,
yeah.
whatever that is.
Does being marked by Wogar do anything to me?
You don't know yet.
Yeah, it's not
Okay.
good.
The priest
I'm not-
specifically doesn't know what it does to you.
Were we in the room? Were we in the room when she was getting this diagnosis?
Yeah, no, there's not a lot of privacy in a church like that. They do.
Oh,
Did anything look weird about me?
Yeah, I don't think anything visibly happened. You pulled away too early.
See, if it's the hat, I can't do anything about it at this point.
True.
Yeah, you just gotta keep wearing it.
good news is we got to go find some more hobgoblins.
Yeah, right?
Maybe I'm the new champion maker.
Yeah.
Ooh, make me a champion.
And
Oh,
more
that's it.
hats.
Did anyone want another scene, or are we kind of ending on that like
Nope.
try hard jovial moment?
Did we have to circle back about our dog at all? Or are we kind of just
Yes,
never...
actually.
Are we gonna get in trouble if we don't?
You part of the deal was that you would return it. You don't know exactly what trouble you'd get into.
I mean, you do have a cut of the money, so if you want to just buy the dog, you can buy the
Yeah.
dog.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Not that expensive, relative.
Yeah.
We can
Yeah.
just bring back another hobgoblin and you've made a profit.
It's true.
We
let's
just use
play
hobgoblins
out
as measurement of coinage.
Yes.
How
I
many
like it.
hobgoblins to buy this boat? Yeah, let's... Do you guys want to play out me trying to beg to not have to pay for this dog?
That's up to you.
Yeah, we can.
Alright.
Yeah, so you head back to let me pull up my notes again.
Dog Emporium.
Why do I always close my notes?
Pets and meat. The dog emporium.
Yeah,
No!
I actually kind of want to jump out. Could we pick that up next session?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Amanda and I can do
that
it
works
quickly
for me.
too.
Yeah.
I want you guys to think about and get back to me in Discord in the next couple of days about what are you guys looking to pick up a job, or are you looking to just literally jump back, like go into the world and just start hunting the bastards?
You cut
We
out
kinda
there real
have a-
quick.
Are you looking to like pick up a specific job here, or do you just literally want to go back out into the world and hunt the bastards?
My vote is we go and basically do reconnaissance on that town, Valorum,
Yeah.
and we just pick off hobgoblins around there, and maybe we can get a champion.
Yeah.
And hopefully we don't get caught. And then we come back and we can maybe give some information to the Golden Lions in exchange for some money, and then also get rid of your curse, and also maybe get some championhood ourselves. And yeah.
And also figure out Quip's work schedule so we can make sure we bring stuff back when he's working.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely down for Valrum. I think that there's a lot of plot there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you wanna fuck with Valor? Do it.
You cut out again.
God damn it. So you guys want to fuck with Valrum, but you don't want to join the Golden Lions to do it.
Right.
We
What
want
I'm
to be
hearing.
free agents.
Independent
Okay.
contractors.
Cool.
We saw that the Golden Lions got kind of wrecked, so we're going to try to do it and not get wrecked.
Yeah.
Cool.
If we
Also-
join them, they're going to want us to do it for free, and we want to do it for money.
Not only that, but Baga doesn't want to be tied down to anybody else, really.
Yeah, we just broke free of the last person we were kind of beholden to, so...
We're already stuck with each other.
But to be clear, which Laga wouldn't want, now that he knows that like the seriousness of it, because he was kind of taking it as hearsay before. Now that he knows that like the Golden Lions got messed up, and he's seen Golden Lions presumably in Roanupur that could mess him up.
Yep.
So he's like, all right, well maybe we shouldn't go into Valorum, but like go around it and just do reconnaissance stuff and pick off stragglers possibly.
Or check out outlying villages if there are any.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Awesome. I'll get some prep done on that, and we'll.
John's just
See where
trying
we
to
get.
find that farmer.
All right, cool.
Is this one we're picking up 2 weeks from now, or next week to try to get out of the same rotation as the other one?
Oh, that's a good question. I actually don't think Dave's game is going to run this Thursday, but
Yeah, next Thursday.
Oh, okay.
This Thursday will be Warhammer. Next Thursday would.
no, I
would
meant.
be-
Oh yeah, it's next
it's
Thursday.
next,
Is your. Yeah. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah, we can figure out which week works.
Yeah.
I don't know
We'll
off
get
the top
back.
of my head. I have to sit down and look at a calendar.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Cool.
Good session, guys. Got paid. Did some stuff in town.
Yeah.
Built the world a little bit.
Want to
Thank
figure
you.
out the purchasing stuff now, or is that a thing you want to handle later?
Dave, if you want to jet, we can stick around for a couple minutes and figure out.
Yeah.
I already just took money off and bought stuff.
Well, the only reason I haven't yet is because I'm looking at high ticket price items. So,
Like what?
+1 armor or adamantine armor. It's actually valuing +1 armor is more expensive than adamantine.
That's
Right.
That's because the +1 AC is way more valuable in 5e than it is in Pathfinder.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, maybe just stealing Pathfinder doesn't quite make sense. I was like, they're gold plated, and I'm able to use.
Yeah.
The ignoring criticals is like handy, but it's a sometimes thing. Whereas the AC thing is you're just straight out negating hits a bunch.
Right.
And it's already plate mail, so that's 18 or 19 AC on its own.
Jesus.
Yeah, so
It's 18 on its own.
plus
19 when it's magic, yeah.
Yeah, I was talking +1.
Yeah.
So, and then with my fighter style, I'd be at 20 AC without a shield.
Jeez.
So,
Right.
Bye, guys, for the
Alright.
stream.
Yes.
Bye,
Thank
stream.
you
Bye,
everyone
stream.
for playing. Mike, thank you for running. Chat, thank you for being there for us and encouraging all of our degeneracy and swallowing the fact that we are slavers now.
farmers or ranchers.
We are.
You can't
Herders.
Yeah, we
you
are.
can't enslave monsters.
Hobgoblin herders. They are an intelligent species, but we can get into that. We can get into that another time.
We keep intelligent animals in SeaWorld, so.
But should we?
Here we go.
All
All right.
Thank you.
Guys.
Somebody remind me for when we pick this up next time
Hmm.
to use the argument that Mr. Doggo has imprinted on me, so he won't be good
We
as
can just
a
buy
hobgoblin.
him. We can just buy him.
You could also just write that in Discord and then pin the message.
Oh, all
I
right.
can do that.
All right, I'm taking us off. Thanks everyone for hanging out.
Bye.
Bye,
Yeah.
guys.